Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day. Now, this isn't like a full-on what I eat in a day because I didn't get every single meal, and I also filmed a couple of extra updates from around the homestead. So in some ways, this is kind of like one of my day in my life videos. Not fully, but by the way, if you like my food videos, you should check out my day in my life and my week in my life videos because I always include food that I'm eating and recipes that I'm making. But in today's video, I ate so much delicious food. If you do like this video, please crush that like button, as people say, to let me know and show support to my channel. I appreciate it so much. And with that being said, let's jump right in. So we're starting off in the midst of my oil diffuser just because, I don't know, I thought it was beautiful in the sunlight. I think I was diffusing like tangerine or something like that. And then I had to stop and show you McBowsen because he's so cute. It actually hurts my heart. And I feel like if you don't have an appetite already, I don't know, doing like calming things always helps me with my appetite. And I feel like how calming is it to look at an adorable dog and watch him bask in like heaven on a comfy bed and get his adorable nose pet. Am I being a little extra right now? Rhetorical question. The answer is yes. Now, another little update I wanted to show you was this seedling. Look at how cute it is. And I felt like on this day, it was ready to go into the tower garden because there were what I think is enough roots to be transplanted. So I put the rock wool cube into the tower garden. Look at it getting its new little life started. And then I thought I would show you the other greenery and how it's coming along on my garden. I'm obsessed with being able to grow my own fresh greens all year round. Oh, it's so good. Now, I have made this recipe before and I was obsessed with it. A friend actually brought this to a party and it's super simple, but it is jam-packed with flavor. So I start off by pouring some white beans. I think I used great white northern beans, but you can use like cannellini beans or really any bean you want. But I started off with that bean and then I added a big scoop of sun-dried tomatoes. And then I decided I actually needed way more sun-dried tomatoes. Then I took my lemon and I squeezed as much lemon juice as I could into the mixture. You know I love that tart kick of lemon juice. Then I added about 3 or 4 cloves of fresh garlic, as well as about a teaspoon, I'd say, of pink Himalayan sea salt. Then I added a dash of organic extra virgin olive oil, and then I blended up this concoction. And I know this isn't technically hummus. A lot of you guys told me that in the comment section. I was calling this like a white bean hummus. I guess it's technically just a bean dip, like a white bean dip. And let me tell you, I'm not always a fan of beans, but this dip is so good and it lasts for so long. Even if you're devouring it, it stays well in the fridge. I think it's great with pita crackers, any kind of chips, carrots. It's great as like the spread on a sandwich. It's also great to add a scoop to the top of like if you're making maybe a vegetable salad or like a bowl that consists of like quinoa and maybe a protein and some veggies. I love this hummus so much. And on this day, I decided to have it with a glass of herbal iced tea and these organic Triscuits, which are super hard to find, but I think I got these at Costco a little while ago. Now, for those of you that watch all my day in my life and my week in my life videos, you know that Dan loves to cook just as much as I do. That's why I get so many questions like, what does Dan eat? And our menu varies dramatically from day to day because sometimes he wants to cook something for himself. Sometimes I'm cooking all of our meals. Sometimes he's cooking for me. So he has been on a cauliflower kick lately. So he started to prep some cauliflower that he picked up at the store. And I went to roast some asparagus as well as 2 bell peppers that I had from Costco because I wanted to make a version of this couscous recipe that came to us from HelloFresh. And so I added some olive oil to the veggies. as well as some organic garlic powder. I also added some organic crushed red pepper flakes. For the peppers, by the way, I brushed a concoction of just like olive oil, salt, pepper, maybe some of that garlic powder as well. And then I tossed my asparagus by hand in the little mixture of oil and spices. So then I threw the veggies in the oven. I want to say like 400 degrees or something like that. I don't really remember, but if you just look up how to roast veggies, I did the basic Bay way. Then I took this organic Better Than Bouillon seasoned vegetable base. This mixture makes veggie broth, and so I heated that up with a pot of water while Dan heated up a ton of Kerrygold butter in a pan for his cauliflower. I made my way to the cupboard and pulled out the couscous jar on the left, and I brought it out to cook up in the pot. So I poured the couscous in with the broth. Now Dan was going crazy over here. He added a ton of chopped garlic to the butter and the oil, as well as tons of Cajun seasoning. We are obsessed with Cajun. If you haven't picked up on that, we kind of go through like sporadic addictions. So like when we're into something, we use it a lot. And lately we have been back on the Cajun train hardcore. So then I pulled my veggies out and I flipped my peppers because I didn't say this, but I was actually trying to roast the peppers in a way where afterwards I can peel the skin off. So this is apparently what you were supposed to do, like flip them halfway through. And then Dan took his little butter oil concoction that he had made and he spread it all across the cauliflower. So at this point, my couscous was done cooking. It was really hot, as you can see, and I poured it into a bowl to just cool down for a little bit while I went and I took off the asparagus and then threw the bell peppers back in the oven to cook a little bit more. And while that was happening, I cut up the tomatoes that I had on hand, which were a handful of cherry tomatoes that we had left from our garden and a little bit of this heirloom tomato that I had picked up. So I chopped that up, and then I also chopped up some green spring onions. And if you haven't noticed this in my videos or heard me talk about it, I tend to keep the ends of my spring onions for a little while under my grow lights because you can regrow these spring onions a few times. They're not just done after one use from the store, and I love that. So then I pulled out some spinach because my spinach is not thriving yet on my tower garden. I chopped that up, and then I also chopped up my roasted asparagus, and then I cut a lemon in half. I also decided to pull out a can of hearts of palm just because, I don't know, I had them, and you guys know I like getting as many different kinds of veggies as I can into my diet, and I happen to like hearts of palm, so I threw those in. And then I pulled out my roasted bell peppers. Look at how amazing those look. And then I pulled them off the pan to cool down. Then I just took all of my chopped ingredients and I threw it into the bowl with the couscous. And then once my peppers had cooled enough for me to feel like I could, touch them safely-ish, I cut out the cores and then peeled the skin from the outside to the best of my ability. So at this point, I took my fresh organic feta cheese that I purchased from Costco and I pulled out a block to chop up into little crumbles. I feel like I definitely added too much feta, like the salad was like a little feta-y, but Dan was a huge fan of the amount of feta that was in here, so I'm just throwing that out there. Then I actually had to transfer my whole like setup to another bowl because I did not eyeball that sizing correct. And there was a lot of food here, clearly. So I just kind of tossed and mixed and massaged everything together. Then I added more lemon juice because hashtag always more lemon juice. Am I right, guys? Maybe this is the point where we break into the song Never Enough from The Greatest Showman. Then I added some more pink Himalayan sea salt as well as some chunky salt, and then I tossed that together. And guys, both Dan and I had this for lunch on this day, and it was unbelievably good. I can't even explain. I feel like you can probably imagine because you just watched me cook the whole thing. And then we split this plate of golden kiwis as well. I just love food. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to check out my day in my life and my week in my life playlists if you like seeing my food, because a lot of people don't know that those videos also always include recipes and what I ate that day and all that jazz. So just letting you know. Also, if you're still hearing my voice, check the info box because I do these like semi-secret giveaways for people that care enough to listen all the way to the end of my videos, or people that care enough to expand my info box. Don't forget, I am on Patreon and I appreciate all of your support, and I hope you guys have been liking the content over there. And that is all. I will hopefully see you back here soon with another new video. All right, bye guys.